spirited. We'll call it spirited. The four Republican presidential hopefuls battled it out on the debate stage last night in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
CBS News Miami's Jim DeFede is joining us live this morning to break down the debate. Jim, good morning to you. What was your biggest takeaway from last night?
That clearly everyone thinks Nikki Haley is on the rise, because that's what you look for. You look to see who was attacked, and from the outset, it was Ron DeSantis and Vivek Ramaswamy going after Nikki Haley. They really went after her hard. This is the first time in any of the four debates in which you saw Nikki Haley having to be on the defensive a little bit, and I think that shows that she's coming up and she's the biggest threat for Ron DeSantis as we head now 39 days into Iowa.
Yeah, let's talk about that. She is definitely a threat to DeSantis. Did he do anything to, well, reemerge his campaign? Because it's kind of been flailing here in recent weeks and honestly the past month. And going into the Iowa caucus, he needed that kickstart. Did he get it?
You know, I think Ron DeSantis had a solid debate. He hasn't been bad in the debates. He just hasn't really had that breakout moment, as you said. But one of the things that was interesting to me listening to Ron DeSantis's answers are, you try to hear little coded messages in there. And he was playing very, very much to the evangelical base in Iowa. So, like, for instance, his favorite president is Calvin Coolidge. That's a little signal to really conservative voters in Iowa, where he stands, not picking Ronald Reagan, but going back to Calvin Coolidge, things like that. I think that he said a number of things that were designed to try to play to the evangelicals, because that's really his biggest hope, is that the evangelical community comes out for him in Iowa, and that therefore lifts his campaign up. Because look, let's break down exactly what is going to happen with Iowa. In Iowa, right now, Donald Trump is ahead by, upwards of 25 to 30 points. If Ron DeSantis doesn't close that gap, doesn't come to within at least 10 points of Donald Trump in Iowa, I don't know how he continues to go forward, because he is not set up well in New Hampshire. New Hampshire, in the same way that he's appealing to evangelicals in Iowa, that turns off voters in New Hampshire, the Republican voters there. So he has to put all of his chips into Iowa and finish a strong second. If Nikki Haley beats him in Iowa, if Nikki Haley turns in a better performance in Iowa, then I think Ron DeSantis is done, and then she slingshots into New Hampshire's 8 days after the Iowa caucus and is in a much better position. But again, at the end of the day, Donald Trump is still far ahead of everyone. This is really just a race right now for second place.
Well, let's talk about that. Obviously, Nikki Haley, she's making a move here. Do you think she might be the front runner of the rest of the pack? And does it even matter at this point with the huge gap that Donald Trump has at this point?
So I can tell you what Nikki Haley's strategy is. She has invested most of her time and energy into New Hampshire and South Carolina, which is the following primary. So you end up with a situation where, Iowa doesn't really fit Nikki Haley's voter very well. It's more suited to a Ron DeSantis. But if she can gain momentum, if she can actually do better than DeSantis in Iowa, there are probably, for Nikki Haley, finishing third in Iowa doesn't destroy her campaign. Because if she finishes a decent third in Iowa, then she goes into New Hampshire, where she could potentially finish second, and then she goes to her home state in South Carolina a month later in early February. So that's her thinking. So right now, she's just trying to keep the momentum going. She's got a lot of big money behind her right now. That was one of the reasons why she was attacked repeatedly last night. One of the things that she sort of said, you heard it in the clip, that they were sort of jealous of the fact that the big money donors are now going to her instead of Ron DeSantis. So I think that's the way she's trying to play it right now.
Interesting stuff. All right. I can't wait to the Iowa caucus, because we're really hitting the ground running. Things really pick up a lot of energy at that point. All right.
39 days.
39 days and counting. Jim, as always, thanks for your expertise. We appreciate it.